Well, well, well. Well. We are here. 1-0 defeat, clear penalty denied. So what do people think? Um, Honestly, I think for me, from the first lineup, already that was already defensive. It actually reminded me of Hugo Bruce's interview. I think it was just before they left, and he was speaking about their game plan for the group stage. And he said, we get 3 points first game, we play for a draw second game, and then we can then look to progressing. But the problem with being pragmatic in a tournament is that it can backfire. So for me, how do you play three defensive midfielders and yet you want to go into the next round? It did not make sense. You that for me was an error from the coach. I know a lot of people love this coach. I've never had any or any of my opinions in public about the coach, but I think this today's match and today's lineup or starting lineup shows that the coach was very defensive. He was scared of Egypt. I don't know why. We all know Arab teams, whether it's at club level, at country level, defensive resolve is their thing. Their defensive structure is very hard to beat. So for me, yeah, it did not work. It did not work at all. And as soon as they got a red card, that was again an opportunity to try and put on some offensive players. And they did not. Well, they did, but it wasn't the kind of mix that I thought would have worked. Wanasesi, very meek, very casual. It's like he was playing for Pirates. The curious case of our favorite striker, Lyle Foster. I know Tato's gonna be livid. But yeah, again, from the first game, Lyle Foster for me, I don't know, guys. I don't know what. I know Coach Benson, in previous episodes has backed the boy up and has said, look, this boy is young, he's got potential, he's playing in the Premier League and all of this. But let's be honest, guys, we don't have a number 9 at the tournament. That's my humble opinion. We do not have a number 9 in this tournament. We left 2 prolific goal scorers in Bradley Grobler, and in my opinion, Ikram Reyners. So I know Ikram Reyners was injured. I know he came from an injury and all of that. But let's be honest, guys. I'd rather have a 60% fit Ikram Reyners than have a 100% fit Foster. That's number one. Number two, Bradley Grobler is our he's a goal scoring poacher. He's proven it season after season in the PSL. I don't know why we didn't pick him. He is a. I mean, there was a chance now in the second half that Lyle Foster had, where they're giving the ball inside the box, and instead of taking a snapshot, he cuts it and he passes it to Mokoena, who then kicked, and then obviously the penalty was denied. But for me, that's you should be a poacher in those kinds of situations. You should poach this as soon as you get the ball there. Poke the thing to the goals. Anything can happen. You're in the box. So again, that clinical aspect in front of goal, we do not have. Where is Benny McCarthy when you need him? You know, we shouldn't be allowing the Benny McCarthys of this world to go be coaching Kenya when we are struggling with goal scorers in our own country, and knowing that he was a prolific goal scorer. And you know, yeah, I pose a lot of questions about our strike force. Um, that's my feeling of it. Overall, we were very, very, very conservative in the first half. I mean, the first 26 minutes, we didn't even get into the box of the Egyptians. We did nothing in those first 24 minutes, 26 minutes. And then now we are chasing the game. Second half, it's 70th minute. We're trying to whip balls into the box again. I'll go back to the culture of Arab teams defensively. We know these guys are strong in the air. These guys are defensively resolute. They're disciplined. They've got structure. What are we doing trying to bang the ball inside there? And even when we were trying to play in between the spaces inside the box, I mean, there's the decision making is not was not good enough for me. So yeah, I think again for me another example of a Bafana team that lacks bite. You know what I mean? We like absolute bite. There's nothing about us that says we are dangerous. I don't think we're dangerous. I think we are like I don't even know how to explain what we are, but yeah. So we take a 1-0 loss, go into the third game under pressure. We're playing against our neighbors. They're obviously gonna feel like this is an opportunity because they've got 1 point, and Egypt already obviously has already gone through with the 6 points. But yeah, we are now stuck. I wish I brought my calculator here because that's literally where we're gonna be now. Because if we don't, we have to beat Zimbabwe. But I don't see us beating Zimbabwe with the attack that we have. I mean, I'm being honest here. I don't know what people think, but I think this is a classic example of a Bafana team that has to go out there and show how good they really are. And then what do? They play a defensive game. They play a sluggish game. They lose balls. There's a second ball. Nobody won. Well, I didn't see anyone win a second ball anywhere on the pitch. We're not winning our second balls. We're not winning our individual battles. Yeah, it's just it's one of those games that, in my view, I'm not going to say it was an easy game to win, but it was the game was there for us to win. Even as 11v11, the game was there for us to win, and we just played defensive, three midfielders, our right and left backs. I mean, they tried. I know Kuliso Mdao had a good game. He tried. You could see, obviously TLB had a good game. But let's be honest, guys, we do not have a strike force. We do not have a strike force. Our wingers, they're hot and cold. You have situations where you are one on one with your defender. He doesn't have cover at the back, and you, instead of taking him on and getting into the box so that you can relax while you're in the box and have composure, you pass it back to your right back or on the left hand side. I mean, yeah, Apolis was out of the game today, but I don't know. I don't know. We just putting ourselves under unnecessary pressure. And we know. I can almost say Bafana under pressure is like the Proteas before they won these last few championships, like the Test and whatnot. They just choke under pressure. Bafana players choke under pressure. It's easy to play in the PSL. It's nice. Everybody loves you. All of that. But when it comes to such tournaments, continental, international tournaments, we must remember people play in some of the best leagues in the world. So just because we play in the so-called best league in the continent does not make us the best team, or does not mean that we have the best players. We can win the African Champions League, we can win the African Football League. That means nothing when it comes to tournaments like this. So that's why I'll always. It's not that I'm a negative Nancy, but I'll always say my truth that Bafana. I like until we win a major trophy convincingly. I do not trust this team. This team, yes, you might say it's the best team we've had in a while and all of that, but what does that mean? What does that show for us? It's the best team in a while. It's the best assembled squad we have. Okay, we lost 1-0 to a 10-man Egypt. Forget the penalty. Forget all the shenanigans the Egyptians were doing, trying to waste time and all of this stuff. It's up to us to take the game to the opponents. I mean, now it's at 84th minute or whatever. He takes the ball from halfway line. He's jogging towards the 18-yard. It is 84th minute. We need to get 2 goals, not one, 2 goals. And he's there, he's just jogging, he passes it around. Like, again, I'll go back. We play like we are playing in the PSL. Guys, the PSL is not the end all and be all of football. And I can tell you right now, Zimbabwe is going to surprise us. If we are not in tune, if we are not focused, if we don't want it as much as or more than the defenders, I can tell you now it's not going to work, because we are once again just being meek. We are we don't really have the krach. We don't really have the chies. We don't really. I mean, people were saying, okay, let's make some changes second half. Let's put an attack. Even these people that we're putting in, they're not showing that they want to show up and show what they made of, right? So yeah, that's basically my take. I mean, we shared the link. We shared the link with all of you on our socials to join the conversation. Come through, join the conversation. Let's have a chat about this, because yeah, for me, to be honest, I did expect us to win, but now that we haven't won, I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. Mainly based on what I saw in the first game against Angola and what I saw in the first half today. I don't know. Tactically, I think we got it wrong with the lineup. Like I said, selection wise, I don't know, guys. Okay, we don't have Hrobla, we don't have Reyners here. Who else could fill that number 9 role with the team that we currently have at the tournament? I, say what you say about Lyle Foster. Yes, he scored the winning goal versus Angola, but he had a crappy game versus Angola. He had a crappy game versus Egypt. There's nothing he's offering us, honestly. There's honestly nothing. He's not quick. He's not running behind the defense. Yes, he can hold the ball up, but he held the ball up once now when he hit that back heel to Mutiba, who was supposed to score. But that's pretty much it. There's nothing. He's not really good in the air. Um, so yeah, you guys tell me. I mean, or tell us. What? How do you see this next game? Because Zimbabwe are gonna come guns blazing. That much I can tell you. They know us. A lot of them have played in the PSL before. Some of them are playing overseas. They know us, and obviously we know them. But do we have that resolve? Do we have that heart? Do we have that hunger, that desire, that you know That BMT, big match temperament. Today was classic example. Do we have the big match temperament? No, we don't, because it's 84th minute and we are just passing the ball around square. We're not trying to penetrate, and it's easy for defensive structures like the one that Egypt has had today. Very easy to defend against a team that is not sure what they want to do. Like we looked like we had no ideas. We looked like we didn't know. I mean, I was looking at the first half where we would forward, go forward 2, 3, 4 steps, and then go backwards 5 steps. You go forward, you realize there's no option, then you go all the way back. And there's nothing wrong with starting afresh, but movement, there's no movement in the midfield. There's no movement with the striker and the two wingers to create spaces that we can exploit either behind or through the defense. There was absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Um, so yeah, that's my take. That's my view. Um, it's Yes, it's disappointing, but I'm not really disappointed because I didn't expect a lot. You call me a cynic if you want, call me negative, call me pessimistic, call me a hater, call me unpatriotic, but I will maintain until we win recognizable trophies. I don't trust this team, and it doesn't matter who you play there. It's a mental thing for me. We don't have the mental strength to play against teams as tough as Egypt. And yes, we've beaten them before. Yes, we've beaten the Moroccos of this world before, and other bigger teams. And I mean, we got Nigeria into the playoffs for the World Cup because we are that good. But I mean, you're only as good as your last game. At the end of the day, this is football. So you have to really think, what are we doing? What are we actually doing? I don't understand. I think the Bradley Grobler one for me is a big issue. He's a goal poacher. He's a goal scorer, proven season after season. And because he's an older striker, I mean, as strikers, speaking about striker, as strikers, we mature later in our careers, right? So that's why Bradley has been so prolific in the past, what, 2, 3 seasons, and yet he's not in the so-called best team that we have. Why is that? I can tell you, first game he would have buried a couple of chances. Today he would have run rings around the defense, because that's another thing. Having a static striker, it's perfect for defenders. They don't need to worry about you running behind. All they do is make sure that you keep on facing your own goals. That's it. And you don't turn, or you don't give the second ball for an interchange of sorts. So yeah, that's my take on this game. I think we bring out your calculators. Um, yeah, because it's not going to be easy against Zimbabwe. I can tell you that much. And even if we get a draw against Zimbabwe, it all depends on what happens with Angola and Egypt. So we have to go for the win. Have to go for the win. There's literally no looking back. And when I look at the pattern of history of our team, when there's pressure, we crumble like a bunch of cookies. So yeah, that's pretty much what I think. And yeah, let's see what all the other couch coaches say. Let's see what all the analysts say. Everybody's gonna have a say. Everybody's a coach. I mean, during the game, I was looking at my WhatsApps and people in the WhatsApp groups saying this and that. I mean, there's really no excuse. We played against a 10-man Egypt with an slightly off form Mo Salah. I don't even know why we were even talking about this guy or this Egypt attack before the game. That already tells you that, yes, we might say, oh, we're not worried, oh, we can't focus on one player. But the fact that you're thinking about it, you're already worried. All we needed to do was get stuck in, play our game. Don't be defensive. We've got so much attacking prowess, so much attacking prowess, but they were on the bench. And so, how do we expect to win with our attacking, um, our attacking creative players are on the bench? How are we going to score these goals? How are we going to create? Um, so yeah, I'm a little yeah. Obviously, as a South African, I'm disappointed, but I'm not shocked. We played right into their hands. We've played AFCON, so we know these Arab teams. Even at club level, we know as soon as they get ahead, their defensive structure is going to be so disciplined that we will have to find something special to break them. And we've got special players. I agree, we've got special players, but what did they do with the 45 minutes that we had in the second half? What did they do to show that okay, we really want to? But yes, we were in the half. We had over 60% ball possession. That means nothing if you're not penetrating, right? It means nothing if you're not causing problems. Um, it means nothing if the opposition defense is not scrambling. It means absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So there we go. Bafana losing 1-0. And here we are, another stage where we're gonna take out our calculators and we're gonna be sitting in front of our TVs like this and hoping that we do something. And even if we do beat Zimbabwe, how are we going to solve our attacking problems in the knockout stages? Because once we get to the knockout stages, there's no second chance. And I'm sure everybody has seen the first couple of games already, and there are teams out there that look really good. There are teams out there that are lukewarm, but you can see that once they play the second game, the third game, go into the knockout stages, they're going to be really really strong teams. So yeah, I don't know. You guys tell us what you think, and yeah, we go from there. So that's my viewpoint. That's my take on this game. Needless loss. Um, Even the changes, I didn't get it. It's like we were just throwing bodies in there, like we just throwing bodies. It's almost like we didn't have a game plan, and the red card was early enough for us to get into that changing room at halftime and have a game plan for the second half, not get to a point where it's 75th minute and now we're just throwing players in. And for me, that's typical of this Bafana team. Whenever we're under pressure, we just throw players in, and then that's it. And we hope, you know. I'm not going to talk too much about the penalty or the penalty appeal. I think it was a penalty. It's obvious the guy was in the box. It was not in a natural position, as they say now with these new rules. But at the end of the day, is the referee's final decision, and if it's not given, it's not given. I know my fellow fans, we're gonna cry about the penalty. Oh, we could have got a draw. Oh, this, or that. Guys, it's we cannot cry about stuff that we cannot control. We can't control referees' decisions, but we can control how we apply ourselves on the pitch. You know. So yeah, back to the drawing board. Get your calculators out for the third game. Um, get all the juju you can get all the gogos, because like I don't know. It's For me it's touch and go. Zimbabwe. I mean, Zimbabwe could be a draw. Angola can beat Egypt because they're probably going to rest a few players, and then what? You know what I mean? So anything is possible really in the third game. We can't say we're going to hope Egypt beats Angola, and then if we get a draw, or then we are through, or if we win, we are through. We are back to that square box of calculating and mathematics and if this, if that. I mean, yeah, it's it's a bit disappointing, really. Um, so I don't know. Um, Egypt, the first team to go into the knockout stage, they're looking really good. Um, we have the talent, we have the creativity, we have the players, but we don't have the big match temperament. We don't have BMT. You know, I mean, just having watched a lot of the games in this past week, there are teams that are not as talented as we are. There are teams that don't have the kind of skill level and creativity and squads that we have, but they have big match temperament. And that's why they're able to salvage draws if it's a small team against a big team. And that's why the big teams will always, fight for 3 points or for a win because they have big match temperament. We don't have it. We think we are playing, I don't know, we think we are playing in Dubai, five-a-side soccer, hey, and then we go take photos after the game, share on social media, and everybody's happy. That's all we care about. Seeing ourselves on social media, hugging fans and people in the changing rooms and all of this instead of being focused on the job at hand. For me, the goal should have been we go to this tournament to win it. We don't go to this tournament to look for a draw in the second game, like the coach said when they were at the airport. That for me is bonkers, to be quite honest. It reminds me of when, yeah, I think I've said the story quite a few times. um, I think it was Mushin Etugral in one of the PSL matches, and he is like, "No, we wanted to go into halftime at 0-0." You know, that type of mentality, it does not work. We cannot be playing the game of football and hoping to salvage draws in tournaments where a winning streak is so important. A winning streak is very, once you win the first one, you win the second one, you get into the knockout stages, you win that one. That's momentum. That's winning mentality. But we don't, we don't, we just don't have the BMT. Diego here, Diego Cow 9920 says, totally disagree. Madao has caused us 2 games in a row. Look, maybe look, that penalty, honestly, let's be honest, guys. We use our hands all the time when we're playing football to shield the ball, to that was that anywhere else in the world, in any professional league, that was never a penalty, right? So yes, he caused the penalty, but let's look at his game. How was his game? He was more positive than some of our attackers in terms of going forward, making sure that he puts pressure on, he puts pressure onto the left back and tries to double up with Moremi there. And I will go back to our wingers. Our wingers are scared to take on our players, guys. Our wingers are scared to take on our players, or take on opponents' players. If you know you've got the skill set, you know you can dribble. We dribble all the time in the PSL. You know you can do it. Beat this man, create yourself some space, get into the box. Once you're in the box, you don't need to rush. You relax, you calm down, you compose yourself, because as soon as somebody touches you, you're going to fall, and it's a penalty. And most opponents will be afraid to go out and touch you anyway because you're in the box. So beat your man, get into the box, then be free to make a crucial pass that'll give somebody a tap in. You know what I mean? So I honestly, Diego, I hear you, but nah, nah. I think it's a cop out for us to play Model. I think we could have done better. Um, there were a few one-on-one situations with both our wingers, Moremi and Apolis. They will overstep, try and create space. The opponent doesn't have cover yet. You're still trying to do oversteps, and then instead of finishing that move, you go back and pass it back to Muda. Or Apolis on the other side tries to do something. Hey, vase, plays it back to Mudiba. I mean, that's not how. That's not the football that I know. The football that I know is that when you're one on one with your opponent, you take him on all the time. Take him on, unless he's got a cover or two covers, or the situation is not. But as soon as you're one on one with your, even if he has cover, if you're that good, if you have that amount of skill set and talent, you can take on two players. We know we are dribbling sensations in South Africa. The only team that comes close to us in terms of dribbling one-on-one situations is Brazil. That's it. That's the only country that can sort of pound for pound compete with us when it comes to dribbling. But we don't use our skills, and this is why we will forever, ever, ever have hope. And then now everybody's filled up their fan parks, all sad. Beers are hot, whiskeys are cold. Like, I mean, really, it's kind of disappointing. And like I said, I'm not shocked. This team, until we get that big match temperament, until we have players who say, you know what, I'm gonna take this game by the scruff of the neck and push my teammates to get this. There's no. I mean, you look at the interaction between the players. Nobody's there motivating the guys. Come on, gents, let's go for it. Oh, and then I fall. Come on, gents, let's go for it. Let's try and get this win. And all of these things. We are just, yeah, it's wild. It's wild. But it's okay. We look at the next games and see what comes next. Looking at the standings right now, obviously we've lost. We look at Group A. Morocco, and well, the Group A games are gonna play now. Again, like I said in the first episode, this is a Morocco Mali group. If Zambia doesn't cause an upset, obviously Zambia caused a bit of a hiccup for Mali, so they may have a chance, and they may definitely look to take advantage. As for me, open and shut case. If we don't beat Zimbabwe, we're going to be out. A draw is not good enough, and I don't even think we should be going for a draw, right? Tunisia, Nigeria, Tanzania, Uganda. This is a very interesting group as well. Having seen the teams here play, I still say the teams who are topping the group right now will go through, but let's see. Group D: Senegal, Congo, Benin, Botswana. Again, the two teams that are up top now, I think they should pull through. They're looking really, really good. Algeria, Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea, Sudan. Burkina Faso almost had a huge scare, but they came back. At Equatorial Guinea is not a pushover. That's for damn sure. Again, you watch these teams and you see them as soon as they realize that, gents, we need to win. They push. We, on the other hand, we are. It's like we are half-heartedly pushing. And then Group F, obviously the champions and former champions, Ivory Coast and Cameroon, topping there. I think they can definitely go unless Aubameyang has something to say about it. But I think that that can definitely get Ivory Coast and Cameroon will go through there. So yeah, that's my take on the groups so far. Let me know. Diego, get onto that. Get onto the socials. Join the conversation. I want us to debate about this Mudau thing. Because you are very vehement in your comments, saying you totally disagree. Find another right back that can do what Mudau does, right? Yeah, it's a it's quite it's quite a thing. What went down today with our team. Um, we literally played into their hands, guys. We played into their hands. It was not. Yeah, it was really disappointing. It was really disappointing. But I will say we need a striker. We don't have a striker. We don't have a number 9 at all. In fact, that number 9 should be retired until we find one. Because wow, I'm just gobsmacked. I'm literally just gobsmacked. But it is what it is. Um, so we've seen the first round of games. Obviously, from today, we're seeing the second round of games in the group stages. Who do you think? Who would you think are the stars to watch? Having watched a couple of the games, um, just top of head. Look, Mamouche always looks good. Omar Mamouche always looks good. He's very threatening. His pace, his shot. Um, Brahim Diaz, obviously, he scored. He looked very busy in the first game. But Brahim Diaz is always busy in every game, whether he plays for Madrid or in Milan or Man City. He always just seems busy. He's like, yeah, it's like one of those busy players. I know we've had a few busy players in South Africa ourselves. I can think of Dugu Makanya. He was a very busy player. I don't know whether he'll shine for Morocco, but it seems like they have a lot of belief in him. Ivory Coast has quite a few stars. Zaha's there, Ahmad is there, Adingra's there, attacking prowess. Frank Kessié is there. They've got quite a decent squad, but who will stand out in the tournament? Nigeria, same thing. They've got a fortress of talent there, but who will stand out? Osimhen. Speaking of Osimhen, in fact, having watched the first game, and another one of our friends actually mentioned it about his attitude towards his teammates. During the game, when guys don't pass him or when they don't do what he would expect them to do, you know. And I mean, look, we yes, we all want to win. If you're in the same team, we all want to win. We want aggressive and all of this, but could that? I mean, the Nigerian team has a lot of egos in it, right? A lot of egos. You've got Lukman, you've got Osimhen, you've got there's Iwobi there, there's Calvin Bassi, there's a whole bunch of these really good players. Will they allow their egos to get in their way again? Hence, they're not going to the World Cup yet. Or will they find a way to get some harmony and humble themselves with each other and maybe maybe we can see a better Nigeria. So, South Africa, we've got talent all over the pitch, but who's going to stand out? Who's going to say, I'm taking this team forward with my special skills? Who's going to do that? Um, it was funny seeing Elias Balembe for Mozambique, and we know him as a prolific attacker, and when he comes on, he plays in the midfield. Yes, he might not have the pace, he might be 42 and all of that, but I mean, surely you still got a goal in you somewhere. There's a couple of other players that are not particularly maybe seen as the shining stars of the tournament that have shone here and there. But yeah, let me know, let us know. What do you guys think of the 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 the, the stardom of players that we have in the tournament, and who do you think will eventually come out tops and win, let's say, man of the tournament? In terms of goal scoring, yeah, I mean, in tournaments, a top goal scorer will go away with about what 5 to 7 goals. So right now, goals are being scored from all over the pitch in all the games. Who do you think is gonna top that uh, goal scoring table? So yeah, let me know. But it is another disappointing day for our beloved Bafuni. Uh, Definitely a disappointing day, but like I said, I'm not surprised. Um, let's see what happens in the Zimbabwe game. But one thing I can tell you, Zimbabwe are gonna come guns blazing. They're gonna come guns blazing, and it's not gonna be nice for us. They're gonna come off those blocks and try and put us under pressure so that we don't play. And mind you, because they know us, they know that's what we do. We play. I mean, in today's game, the first 26 minutes, we were nowhere near the opposition box. We were just again playing the ball square, right back to center back to left back to center back to midfield to right back. It goes forward, then it comes back again. Like no penetration, no aggression, nothing. No hunger, no desire, none of that. So I don't know. It's a bit of a it's a bit of a train smash. Um, I don't look. Even if we win against Zimbabwe and we go through to the next round, whoever our opponent is in the next round, will we have the BMT to get over that line? If we go down 1-0, are we able to bounce back, equalize, get a win? I mean, get a second goal, get a third goal. Are we able to do that? When I look at our history, very seldom, very, very seldom we're able to come back if we concede a goal. The best thing we do is salvage draws. Again, mediocre, average. That's my honest opinion. Average. And I don't know. Having seen most of the teams' first games, yeah, I don't know. We would have to have a lucky knockout stage draw if we get there to get to the finals. But there are teams that, and these teams are physical, and we know this. African teams, they're physical, hard, very tactical, and a lot of these countries' players play overseas. Um, I know we've got 4 Pirates players there. We've got 4 Sundowns players there. We've got a 1 or 2 overseas based players there, and the rest are shared between other teams in the PSL. This for me just shows that our lack of experience with international football at club level is somehow for me a factor in all of this, us not being able to get over the line, us not being able to have that BMT to come back, equalize and score the second goal and kill the game with the third goal. There are teams we've watched here that are doing that, right? But we are meek, we are absolutely meek, and I'm like we are meek, we are sluggish, we think we're playing in the PSL. That's the feeling I got when I was watching the first half. That's the feeling I got when it got to about 75 minutes. It's like we're playing in the PSL. We're playing at club level. We're not. There's no urgency. There's no. Let's come together. Let's try and push for an equalizer. Then go for the win. I mean, we know we've got 20 minutes left. We've got 15 minutes left. But there's nothing urgent. There is nothing urgent. So yeah, it's a bit of a train smash. Now people are out there all sad, all disappointed, hearts are broken. And I say to you guys, your heart shouldn't be broken. You should know your team by now. You should know your team by now. This is classic Bafana. It doesn't matter who the coach is. We don't have the mentality to get over that line. We don't have the yes. We don't we almost like chokers. So you guys tell me, but I think for me this is really a classic example of a pattern of history of our team. We have so much hope. We have, oh, this is the best squad we've chosen in years. We've got Master Chef, we've got Tebo Mokwena, we've got Mwana Sesi, we've got Muremi, Apolis, all of this stuff. Guys, let's be honest. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Until we have proper exposure to international football at club level, only then can I say, okay, maybe. Until we because for me an AFCON is a tournament. Like if you appoint a coach, if Safa you appoint a coach, you say, okay, come and coach Bafana. Like non-negotiables should be get into the semifinals of the no, not even get into the semifinals, strive to win the AFCON. That should be the mandate, as they say. Coaches have mandates these days. Mandate should be you win the AFCON, you qualify for the World Cup, and you get to the quarters of the World Cup. That's how much talent I think this country has in football. We can literally get to the quarterfinals of a World Cup. But where's the BMT? Where's the Gies? Where's the tactical awareness? Where's the ability to change when situations during the game have changed? And that doesn't only mean making subs. No, making subs, yes, can have an impact. But the players that are already still who are in the heat of it, it's up to them to say, you know what, screw this, let's go for it. Let's just break bank and just go for it. But there was nothing of that today. You know, I don't know. I don't know what it is. So yeah, you guys tell me what you think. Keep the comments coming. We're gonna obviously have another episode in the coming days, but this is literally what I think is the problem with our team. For me, I didn't see anything different to what I've seen in previous AFCONs. And yes, the previous AFCON we came third. So what? Honestly, so what? We should have won that AFCON. In my view, we should have won the AFCON before that. We should have won the AFCON before. In fact, as soon as we won the AFCON in '96 at home, '98, yes, we lost in the final. Again, '98, we should have won it. I mean, Benny McCarthy was instrumental in that one, and other AFCONs. If we want to see a national team that competes at the highest level, we can't be hoping for draws at the second game of a group stage of a continental tournament. It is mind-blowing how we think. And I wish I had that clip of the coach saying that. But I mean, it was all over the news. You guys will find it. You guys, it's all over social media. I'm sure you guys will find it. Where the coach said, "No, we'll go in for the win. First game, second game against Egypt, we'll push for a draw. Then third game, hopefully by the third game we've got 4 points and we are through." Doesn't work like that in football. Football has no therefore. We say this all the time. Football has no therefore. Now we're stuck with 3 points, and we've given two other teams an opportunity to get that second spot. So, like I said, you guys tell me, when are we going to have the Gies and the BMT? I'll go back to BMT. If you don't know what BMT means, big match temperament. That's what we need in this team. We need strong mentality. We need. I'll say Gies again. We don't have Gies, guys. We don't have Gies. We want to do all these things and play around and look good and fix our shirts and our socks and whatnot. We're not focusing on the game. We are not focusing on the game. And this is what will always be a stumbling block for any Bafana team, right? We go into the World Cup in June next year. Guess what's going to happen? No, we're going to try and, not lose. And we supposed to be going for a quarterfinal place at the World Cup. We supposed to be going for a winner's medal at the AFCON. But how do we go for a winner's medal at the AFCON when we have a non-goal scoring striker in our team? Like he's probably the only number 9 in there. To be honest, I don't know what Mahopa is. Some people say he's a winger, some say he's a striker, some say he's good in the air. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Honestly, what does that mean, guys? Hey, what does that mean? We don't have a goal scorer in that team. There's no goal scorer in that team. Huh? How are we going to beat tough teams in the knockout stages? How are we going to beat international tough teams at the World Cup if we don't have goal scorers? It's a pity Reyners was injured and he's probably not match fit. But like I said, I'd rather have a 60% fit Reyners than a 100% fit Lyle Foster. Guys, I'm sorry, Mayanga, Coach Benson. I'm sorry. You used to coach him. You have a lot of belief in him. He's probably as talented as you say he is. But right now, he's not the guy for that number 9. Honestly, and I feel sorry for guys like Bradley Grobler who put in the work week in week out in the PSL. And some of these defenders that are playing in the AFCON, some of them also play in the PSL. This guy's a goal poacher. Top goal scorer in I don't know what a season ago or 2 seasons ago, scoring goals no matter which team he plays for, scoring goals. But he's not here, so we are stuck with Lau. So what do we do? Do we work our attacking movement with the wingers to enable this guy to score, or like what do we do? Because at the end of the day, goals win games. Looking good and doing backflips and all this other shenanigans doesn't win us games. Doesn't win us games at all. So let me know, what do you guys think? I think we are just fooling ourselves. I think we went into the tournament with false hope. That's why I was just quiet and just watching everybody feeling this vibe. Hey, Bafana, Bafana, what? Guys, we need a reality check in this country. We are mediocre at best. We need a reality check. That team needs a reality check. Yes, they're all good players. Don't get me wrong. They're good. They deserve to be in that team. They're good. They're talented. All of that. But togetherness, motivating each other on the pitch. The bench was more active on the pitch than the guys on the pitch. The bench was fighting the Egyptian bench. Where is the heart? Where is that BMT? But I will not ramble on and on. I will allow you guys to make your assessments, and let's check back in the next episode. I'm happy to discuss this with all of you again. I'm happy to discuss Bafana again with you guys. Hopefully, we will have gone through to the round of 16 during that episode. If not, I'll be saying then what I'm saying now. We don't have it. We don't have it at all. You can have the biggest talent in the world, but if you don't know how to use it, you're gonna be a flop. And I'm sure, especially in this country, those of us who've played football from a young age till now, we know, we've seen great players that have never made it. Yes, circumstances are different, right? But there are times where you see a really great player, enormous talent, but what happens is what happens what happens with that talent? Nobody molds that talent. Nobody guides that talent, and then we end up seeing all these former great players in taverns and in clubs and things like that. You know what I mean? Or playing masters football, like we play masters football now. So yeah, we need a reality check. We need a wake up call. And I don't want people to get me wrong. This is not a, for me. Look, okay, technically, I may say the coach was at fault by putting in the lineup that he put in, especially in midfield. But to be honest, this is bigger than a coaching staff and a technical staff. This is a holistically South African problem. We South African football problem. We don't have BMT. I'll go back to Club World Cup, Sundowns versus Borussia Dortmund. Great game, lots of goals, beautiful. But Sundowns should have won that game. Sundowns should have won that game hands down, hands down. So again, it boils down to mental. Do we have the mentality to kill games when we have the opportunity? It's like when you're at war, when you're in combat. As soon as your opponent shows weakness, you gotta go for the kill. You have to go for the kill. If you don't go for the kill, the next opportunity they get, they'll kill you, and that's it. And this is exactly what happened today. Soft penalty, they score, they lose a man through a red card. Halftime, their game plan was clear: defensive discipline and defensive structure. But we are we are just all over the place. We don't have a plan. We don't have, you don't see players there talking to each other. Hey man, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? We just chilling there, just taking it all in, being celebrities like our footballers normally are, just being celebrities, doing disky divas here on TV, housewives of football and all of this shit. This is and this these are the results. And now I'm literally going off on a tangent, but these are the results. We don't have a football mentality that allows us to kill games and kill opponents when they are in their weakest points during games. That's my take. See you on the next one. Peace.